All right, let's return to an earlier story, which of course is interest rates going up. We saw the biggest hike in 20 years, 75 basis points. Now that takes the prime lending rate, which affects many of us if we have a home loan or a car loan or any sort of credit, unsecured credit for things like furniture. Your interest rate may be way higher. So suddenly debt payments become more expensive. That means more pressure as a range of goods are going up across the economy, including food and fuel. Our reporter Ofentse Setimo is on the ground in Pretoria for some reaction. Ofentse, what do people say?
Thank you very much, Francis. Well, these are tough times, consumers, that's for sure. As we heard that the general increase in prices is at a 13-year high, which means that, everything that you're buying today is actually way more expensive than it was actually 13 years ago. So you can imagine for consumers that are really tight, their budget is very tight. So we're going to try to find out the reaction, especially after the Reserve Bank increased interest rate by 75 basis points. My brothers, thank you so much for your time. Can you just tell us, how do you feel about the cost of living in South Africa?
I think the cost of living has proven that the ANC government is anti-black, because we are at this position as a country because of the government of the ANC. So the ANC government is costing black people this much, and it's most painful for most of us as South Africans.
Yes, but can you just paint a picture in terms of the groceries you used to buy in previous years, like let's say pre-COVID as compared to now? How much are you spending as compared to 2 years ago?
As a student, I think 2 years ago I used to buy groceries for 700 rand. But currently I'm buying groceries for 1,500 rand. And even the NSFAS money has not increased for most of us who are beneficiaries of NSFAS, so which is bad for most of the students here.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Well, let's try and get some different voices to the people over here about what's actually transpiring. Thank you so much, guys. How are you doing? We just want to find out what you guys are feeling about the cost of living in the country. What's your reaction to that, especially after the Reserve Bank increased the interest rate by 75 basis points?
Yeah.
I don't see a bright
future. Sorry about that. We apologize for the vulgarity there. What you were about to say?
I don't see any future in South Africa. I feel like I have to leave this place actually. Thank you, Ramaphosa.
Yeah, but then paint us a picture of the challenges that you're facing, in terms of petrol, in terms of fish oil, groceries.
But I actually am a student and I work. I'm trying to earn a bit to have a living, but now with the money that I'm getting, my wage is not getting any more, and transport is getting more expensive, food is getting more expensive. I'm like left with 300 rand to spend on myself on a monthly basis.
What are your survival skills, especially if you had to advise people out there, to make their money last longer?
Just buy at a cheaper shop, honestly.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to try and get one more view just to find out what the people have to say. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. What do you think about the cost of living in South Africa, especially after the Reserve Bank has raised the interest rates today by 75 basis points?
Personally, I feel that it is very difficult for South Africans to keep by. I read actually somewhere in a book today that the inflation rate is up the highest that it's been in 12 years. So obviously we are feeling that as well. And as a student and somebody that's working at the same time, you really have to cut costs where you can. You have to weigh what you need and what you want at this point in time. It's very difficult to keep by. I don't know what the way forward is, but it's difficult.
Thank you very much. Well, as you heard, those are some of the views on the streets. We are actually in Hatfield, which is predominantly students that are actually residing here, and most of them are saying that the NSFAS fees have actually not increased over the years, and they are expected to make do with heightened inflations, while the fees that they are getting are actually the same. So it's really difficult, Francis, for people on the ground. It doesn't matter whether you're middle class or you are from a poor household or you're just a general student. It's quite difficult, I must say. That's the sentiment on the ground, and with that, it's back to studio.
Thank you very much, Ofentse Setimo. A lot of students, just struggling to make it by. Of course, it's good news if you are a saver. We need more savers in South Africa. Many economists saying that. And then, of course, your returns increase, but many of the very small middle class in debt. Thank you very much.